Howdy y'all, and welcome to Farming Simulator 17. How's it going with y'all? How y'all doing? I'm doing pretty good. I will tell you right now though, if you do like what you see in this video, do not be afraid to hit the like button, and if you feel compelled to, you can subscribe to be notified when I do upload more videos. And for the people following this series, I've already weeded this field. I weeded this field, that field over there, field 16 up at the top of the hill. I did it last night, like when it was getting dark and all that stuff, because I didn't want it to go to stage 2 while before I got a chance to weed it, because then we might lose some fertilization or something like that on it. I didn't really want it to mess it up, so I figured I'd just go ahead and do it anyway. But as you can see, we're gonna be doing our sunflower harvest today. We also have soybeans to harvest as well. I think that's it. What else we got? I think that's it. I did feed the cows, which kind of frustrated me. I will let you know right now, it is very frustrating. I don't know if it happens with anybody else as well, but I'll show you. I made some mixed ration. I made 16,000 liters of mixed ration. When I poured it in there, this is what it did. It actually split it up between hay and silage and power food instead of just doing all power food. I don't understand why it did that. You know, maybe somebody knows, but from what I see, it basically separated out itself. I don't know why or like how it figured it up or whatever, but I ended up having, like, it was registering as mixed ration in the oops, wrong button. It was registered as mixed ration in the trailer, so I don't know what the deal was. I don't know why it would have split it up, but that's just I guess this is a Farming Simulator 17 thing. There's really nothing I can do about it. But we are progressing. I am a little bit low on money. Had to take some more loan out because, you know, when I progressed through the night, we kind of lost a little bit of money. You know, we had to pay the midnight fees and all that stuff, and it actually went into the negative. I actually borrowed like $10,000 just to get us back in the black, you know, to keep it up there. So we're like almost maxed out on our loan. I think we're getting pretty close to being maxed out on the loan. So we need some money. We need some money to be coming in pretty soon. We have about 4 hours. Let's see, what's the sheep at? It's not showing what the wool is, so I'll have to go check on it probably to see what it's actually at, or at least wait until the game like updates. Because like when I started this video, I had just started the game. That's why it's not actually updating. Our yield is looking really good. We're already at 34%. 35%. That's really good. We're gonna get a pretty good yield out of this, I think. I mean, once you get to the point where you've plowed your fields and you fertilize it, you know, all that stuff, I think the yields are actually pretty decent. If you don't do any of that stuff, your yields are terrible. You know, it's really not even worth. It's pretty much not even worth doing the field, because between the time and the money you put into the field, if you're not getting like, you know, full profit out of it, you're just wasting your time almost. You know, you'll get a little bit of money, but not quite as much. You know, if you do the plowing and the 3 fertilizations and all that stuff, you get double your yield on it. But overall, it's doing really good. But yeah, I end up I weeded those fields, and then I think that's all I did. We need to do a bit of spraying as well, but that's something that we can kind of like just do once we get a minute, because we got 2 fields that are ready for harvest, so we need to get them harvested and get them replanted, because the longer you leave them ready to harvest, the less money you're making. You know, for every minute I leave this harvest on, or this ready crop on here, I'm just losing money. You know, like the fact that it went, like these were ready to harvest yesterday, and I couldn't get them harvested, and I went through the night. It's like I could have, you know, I could have went ahead and harvested yesterday if I had the time. So we're gonna get this harvested up as fast as we can. get this harvested, get it, get the field redressed and planted, and then we'll move on to the soybeans. I doubt that'll be today, just because it takes a while to do some of this stuff. I don't know this field's going to be ready to plow or not. I don't think it will be. We could probably plow it anyway if we want to, like if we feel compelled to. But let's kind of see. Let's see if it's changed or not. I don't know how this works, like when it registers, needs to be plowed and all that stuff. Right now it's not registered, needs to be plowed. So I'm assuming the way that works is once you, like, as you're harvesting it, it recognizes that you've harvested it like 3 times or something, and then it'll like, as you're harvesting it off, it'll be turning that ground into needs to be plowed ground. So I don't know. We could probably just go ahead and plow it anyway. Just try to do about every other crop, but eventually you're going to lose track of it. It's just like I was talking about the other day of, the proper crop rotation, which field 18, I think it is. Yeah, field 18 down there, that one we expanded, that we harvested, that we chaffed corn off of the other day, or yesterday, or whatever it was. I ended up planting that in sugar beets. The next crop rotation is potatoes, but I think what we're going to do is the root crops will both be considered one rotation, because you can't do 2 root crops in a row. So what we'll do is I just planted potatoes on 15, so whatever field, like, and then the next rotation into root crops will be sugar beets, and then potatoes and sugar beets, so on and so forth. So like if this one was going into root crops, it would be going into potatoes. I'm sure you guys understand what I'm saying, but I'm trying to explain it so that nobody's confused. Nobody's sitting there wondering, hey, what is he talking about? So I'm trying to make sure you guys have an understanding of exactly what's going on the farm. And plus we're kind of crunching for time at the moment, because as you can see, if you look at the weather forecast up there, it looks like it's about to hail today. So we need to get a bunch of this crop in before it starts hailing, because we won't be able to combine it all if it starts hailing. Because you don't want to be trying to combine and all that stuff as it's hailing, because if you do that, you're going to run into the issue of you're going to run into the issue. What am I trying to say? Not that button, that button. You run into the issue of, like, the crop is moist when you actually put it in the combine. So your moisture level is going to be really, really high, and you definitely don't want that. That can affect your sale profitability at the store. There's a tractor. Eventually we would be getting rid of this old trailer. If we could hit like one good great demand that we're actually prepared for, I mean, that normally give you a boost into some new equipment, a couple of new fields, whatever. I don't know how much money we'll have to actually make off of it, just because Farming Simulator 17 seems like it's set up to where even if you play on easy, it's actually challenging. You have to put the work into it, you have to actually make the effort, all that stuff. So it's actually very, very nice. I love it. I love the fact that even if you want to play on easy, you still have to work for it. You still have to, like, put the effort into it. I think overall, though, things are going well. What was I just about to look at? I can't even remember now. The wool's still not showing up. I don't know how long it takes for that stuff to, like, register in, but I guess we'll figure it out in a minute. Get this thing emptied out, and then we should be good. Go ahead and back up. I'm not real good with the mirrors. I don't feel like kind of driving through the crops and all that stuff, because that would just be terrible. Alright, get it back in here. I did shut that tractor off, right? Because we don't need that thing running. But yeah, we need a good great demand to come in. We have a great demand right now on wool, but, like, we weren't prepared for it. That's what I was saying. It's like we need a great demand we're prepared for. You know, we have wool, but it's not very much. It's not even a full pallet. At least it wasn't yesterday. It might be now just because we bought like a a good number of sheep now, and the pallet was actually like 60 something percent, 70 something percent, something like that. Last time I checked it, so progressing through the night would have given us a pretty good amount, I think. So hopefully, like the square that it's sitting in though is really big, which you guys might know this already. I don't really know, but if I don't go pick that up, will it just spawn another pallet? Like, is the maximum? It kind of looks like the maximum should be like 4, maybe 6, something like that. I'm assuming it's probably 4 though. You can have full 4 pallets of wool sitting over there before you actually have to pick it up. So we'll just keep an eye on that. I'd actually like to see it spawn another pallet just so I know, It's like one of the issues we always used to have in FS15 is, once you've got a lot of sheep, any kind of speeding up a time at all would like max out your wool pallet really quick. But then you're kind of in the situation where you have to get over there and have to move your wool pallet because you won't get any more. But if they've got it set up to where you can have like 4 wool pallets sitting there, or up to 4 sitting there, before you have to move them, then that's kind of nice. Because I think the remedy is some of the map creators for F15 made it to where there would be like conveyor belts. Like once the wool pallet got full, the conveyor belt would take it away and like sit it over in a spot. I mean, there were some maps that you could have like 20 wool pallets sitting there. You could have 20 sitting there before you'd ever even have to move them. It just seems crazy, but it is possible. The wool in this, like the sheep wool or whatever in this game, is not really, it's not realistic because you're not actually having to do anything with them. You just buy the sheep, and then apparently, I'm guessing your workers go over there and shave them or whatever for you. So, but overall, it's good. It adds another aspect to the game. It adds extra animals to the game you got to take care of. It's a good balance too with the fact that you have to actually go sell the wool somewhere. And then the cows actually sell their own, like the milk sells itself, but there's a lot more detail into the cows as far as like what you have to feed them, how much you have to take care of them, how much you have to clean up after them, that sort of stuff. So far it's a good thing, man. I may seem like I'm talking a lot or talking really fast, but I've actually had a good day. I'm kind of jazzed today. It's been a good day around here. We'll just kind of do our rotation now. Just go from one side of the field to the other, because it's a little easier having to doing it this way versus like stopping and backing up or whatever. So since this is sunflower, this is this field we need to reset though, because we need straw bales for mixed ration, power food, or whatever you call it. I think what we'll do is we'll plant this in probably wheat and just kind of reset the balance, restart the crop rotation, and just take it all the way back to wheat. Do it that way. I could do barley, but I don't want to skip. I'm just going to I'm going to start it right at the beginning, start it into wheat, and then just kind of go from there. We'll have 2 crops in a row that we can get straw bales off of, but I need to get around to getting a square baler because it'll be so much easier. The square balers are expensive. They take a big tractor, which we have a big tractor to pull it, but square balers are still really expensive. Kind of tough to deal with as far as the money goes. But I guess if we can have a great demand soon on something that we have, then we might be able to sell it and then buy ourselves a square baler before this field ever comes ripe once we plant it. So how's everybody else doing out there? How's everybody else doing on their farming simulator game? Because I'm sure everybody's got their own, their own series, their own like game going on, that sort of thing. Has anybody experienced, seen anything interesting, found anything cool? I have heard a story that I heard anyway through a video, I think it was, that if you actually plant this particular field in grass, and it looks like the American flag or something like that. I mean, that would be cool. I'm not going to do it just because this seems like a ridiculous field to plant grass, but I'm not going to do it. None of the fields around the farm, like here in this area, are going to be planted grass, just because that seems a little ridiculous. I mean, I'm going to plant the grass where I need the grass, you know, as close to where I need it as possible. That way I'm not having to travel a long ways. Oh, I didn't even pay attention. Whoops. My bad. Yeah, I wasn't even paying attention right there. It's completely crushed a bunch of crops. I was sitting there thinking we were going to make it the whole way. Take this down and store it right there. There we go. We probably just check, see how much sugar or how much sunflower we actually have in here. I'm pretty sure, as far as I know, the storage amount maximum is 100,000, and I think it's 100,000 per crop type. So like you get 100,000 sunflower, 100,000 wheat, 100,000 barley, you know, all that sort of stuff. So that's what we're gonna assume anyway, is that's what you get. Which we don't even have anything close to that. I mean, our production is still fairly low at the moment. We don't have any really big fields or nothing. We will get them though. We will eventually have like really big fields, I think. We're starting to gather equipment though. I mean, we're definitely starting to gather a good amount of various equipment types and various equipment and that sort of thing. But that's always good. I mean, we're getting prepared. You know, obviously, eventually, like here pretty soon, we're gonna have to buy, you know, potato harvesting equipment so that we have that stuff because our potatoes will come up. But we're jumping into lots of stuff though. I mean, it's getting there. I need to put fuel in the combine, don't I? Getting close to down to half. I think when we're done here, before we park it, we'll go run it over to the fuel trailer. Put some fuel in it. We're just about done with our harvest though, and then we'll start into our cultivating. Ooh. Wrong button, I thought it was the other one. I've got the two levers, whatever, the two shifter paddles on the back of my steering wheel, on the back of my G27. I've got them set for like, turning the equipment on. Like right there is my left paddle, and then my right paddle is like the V button that raises stuff up and down. So like the left paddle is the B button for you guys, and then the right paddle is the V button, the V Victor button. Alright. Looking good, man. Looking good. And we spent most of the episode so far, at least almost the whole episode so far, in the combine. Or in the cab of whatever equipment we're in. Those mirrors are nice. I mean, I bet with practice you could probably use those things pretty efficiently. Hit the X button, we'll fold that up. I don't think you can do anything with this combine as far as maintenance. I think you could change the color of it probably. We'll go over and head over here and fuel her up right quick. Since we got it out and we've noticed. Alright. I don't know where the fuel tank is though. There's a fuel tank on a combine. I don't know. I don't remember. I always thought it was up on top, or yeah, it wouldn't be on top, would it? I do think it's in the back somewhere though. Is it back here? Where's the oil filter? I don't know. Maybe they may not have put it in or something. I can't remember. It's not like it's important. It would be nice to know, but it's not like it's that big of a deal. Go and head this thing over here. I did end up hitting my little corn chaffer or whatever thing it is. I need to move that over to them sheds, over to the left over there. I think I hit it again. I'm going to line this up. Alright, let's go get our other tractor. Or get our tractor out of the field. And then I think, can I use this to cultivate with? I don't even know. We have this one? No. What do we have? That one. It's 180 horsepower. I don't think it has it. I think it might just have 180. 145, 140. Oh, it doesn't have it at all. I was wondering about that. I was wondering if I could, like, because using the Massey is great, but sometimes it gets to where, you know, I'm afraid people are going to get tired of the Massey Ferguson because we just keep using it. But that's just kind of how it works. You know, even on a real farm, if you're going to upgrade your implements and stuff, and you only have the money for one big tractor, you know, if that's what you have the money for, that's what you use. You know, it's not like you get to just magically get extra tractors just because you bought bigger implements and that sort of stuff. I think overall, though, we'll kind of pick it up here in a bit. We'll get more money. We'll get better equipment, bigger equipment. We're just slowly upgrading, which, like I've said before, that's something I've actually never done. I've never just like slowly upgraded my farm, slowly upgraded my equipment. I always just save up all my money and then go buy the biggest stuff they have. But that's kind of how I've always done it, though. Get this parked in here right there under it. That shut off. Turn my head around before I get out. Come on, Massey Ferguson. Let's go cultivate a field. Alright, hold on. If we're going to do that with wheat, the wheat planter does not have, it doesn't have fertilizer in it, so we need to spray the field first. Let's go ahead and, well, we need to spread fertilizer on it first. That's what we need to do. Let's just grab this. I could use one of the other tractors, but since I'm already in this and I've already got it turned on, I don't feel like having to get one of the other ones out and get it started and stuff. We'll just go ahead and use this. I'm going to spread the pellets on it right quick, and then we'll cultivate it in. I hate I really hate fertilizing after cultivation, because like what we have in here is fertilizer pellets, which need to be cultivated in to be like effective, as far as I know. So in this sense, we need to spread them and then cultivate. There we go. Yeah, like the big blue planter that we have that plants wheat and barley and soybeans and that sort of stuff, that does not have fertilizer in it. I don't think any of the big ones do. None of them have cultivators on them. You can't direct drill. But the one that plants like corn and sugar beets and sunflowers and that sort of stuff, that one does have fertilizer in it, which is part of my part of the reason that sometimes I get confused as to why by the time I've done planting, I'm already in second fertilization stage. You know, I finally figured that out a while back, that because I would fertilize, and then I would cultivate, and then I would seed it, and by the time I'm done seeding, I'm already in fertilization stage 2. Because of the simple fact that, I actually fertilized it twice, and for some reason the game will let you do that. You know, obviously people have figured out already that you can have it fertilized 3 times before you, like, when you plant it, that can be your 3rd fertilization. So I know that there are people out there probably taking advantage of that, because I didn't even know about it until I heard somebody talk about it, and then I kind of looked into it and figured it out. Which, if you don't know and you do want to do that, basically the way it works is every time you do anything to the field, it counts as, like, it will change the field to basically ready to be fertilized. So like right now I'm fertilizing it. Okay, when I come and cultivate it, it will be available to be fertilized. Like when I cultivate it, it's gonna cultivate this fertilization under the ground. It's gonna put this, like, turn the soil over basically. And then if I wanted to, I could come and spread fertilizer on it again. And then when I plant it, it changes the soil again so that I can fertilize it for a 3rd time. So basically every time you do anything to the ground, you can fertilize it. So, but that's just not what we're about. You know, we're going to fertilize it, we're going to cultivate it, we're going to plant it, and then we're going to wait for it to grow, and then we're going to weed it. You know, if you wanted to, you could weed all 3 fertilization stages, and it would save you a bunch of money. Because, because weeding is free. Once you've bought the weeder, it's free. You're not spreading any fertilizer, you're not spraying any fertilizer, none of that stuff. So, I mean, you could do it that way, I guess, if you wanted to. I think it'd be less fun, you know, way less realistic, but, I mean, people would do it the way they wanted to, I guess. Get her implement. Get her implement attached here. I really hope you guys enjoy, like, this way of farming, this version of farming, or whatever you want to call it. You know, for one, where we stay in the cabin an awful lot, like, I do like that. You know, this is the way I like to do it, at least for the most part. Some of the big implements, you know, it's kind of a pain, but like once you implement, like since we have newer tractors, at least I have at least one new tractor, it helps out the fact that we have GPS. If we didn't have GPS, it'd make it a little bit difficult, you know, just because I feel compelled to try not to waste fertilizer, to waste, you know, spray, all that stuff. You know, we need to make the best of our money. So that's why, like, without GPS, you're outside the cab, like, floating above the tractor, looking at it, trying to make it, you know, as perfect as you can get it, and not waste, like, anything. You know, the fertilizer spreader is probably the hardest thing to do, because you don't actually know where the edge of it is. You know, the sprayer is not that hard, because you know, if you go out in a 3rd person, you know where the edge of it is. You know, you can actually see it. There we go. I do like all the, like, I don't know how new the textures are, but I do like the textures. You know, and the dust. You know, I don't think the dust was there before, or if it was, it wasn't as amazing. But the dust is actually better. You know, you got little floaty deals. I don't know what those are all about, but they're there. I mean, they look cool. Yeah, basically at this point, like, that over there could be refertilized. Just because it's already been worked a 2nd time. You know, I would sit here and be like, well, I don't know why they, you know, allow that, blah, 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 but it's part of the programming. You know, they can implement whatever, like, changes to the game they want, like implementing the 3 fertilization stages, but obviously nothing is, like, perfect. Nothing is flawless, you know, or whatever. People always find a way around it, you know. So it's just like, if this is the way you want to do it, this is the way you should do it. You know, if you want to do it more realistic and actually, you know, plant it, wait for it to grow, and do those kinds of stages, then that's what you can actually do. this lined out here. This tractor has no trouble with this cultivator. I would really like to get the big cultivator though, fairly soon. It seems a little big for these like smaller fields like this, but it would make the job so much faster. You know, you could cultivate in no time. I mean, because this one's 6 meters. Yeah. I mean, if you got a 12 meter, 15 meter cultivator, you know, you're definitely doing it twice as fast. But I don't want to get one of those until we have like giant tractors, you know, something that's not going to look ridiculous. I mean, you put that big like 12 meter cultivator on this Massey Ferguson, it may look a little bit out of place. You know, you could put something a little bit bigger than the 6 meter on here, but I think the 6 meter is probably about right for this size of tractor. I mean, actually it looks fairly decent. You know, it's a good looking setup and all that. The size of the tractor matches the size of the cultivator, all that sort of stuff. But I think for today, I'm not going to hold you guys up anymore. You know, I appreciate you guys watching, but I think I'm going to finish up this field, and I'll just wait. I'll wait on doing the planting until we come back. That way you guys can actually experience a little bit more. And if you have enjoyed this video today, then please hit the like button for me. It will help out my channel and grow my channel, you know. That way we can all be friends and hang out and talk and that sort of stuff. But yeah, I do hope you guys enjoy it. You know, I do always hope that. But thanks for joining me, guys, and as always, have a good day.